Each individual has aspects of their identity which are strictly specific to the way they are. These aspects are known as identity filters, essentially the distinct personality of an individual. Identity filters impact the way we perceive and experience specific situations. Looking at my ethnicity, and as the famous Bollywood movie states in their title, I am proud to be Indian. Generally classified as South Asian, being a part of this ethnicity has allowed me to be exposed to Indian culture, food, art, and history. I am able to experience not only westernized ceremonies, but also take part in Indian weddings, gatherings, and holidays like Diwali. The effects include contributing to community development, modifying values, and forming and retaining identity, which I hope to pass on to my children. However, since I do live in Canada and am not white, I have to deal with being part of a social construct. I am a victim of white privilege, since I am a visible minority. I'm often faced with systemic discrimination. When applying for jobs or introducing myself, I've grown to shorten my name to Charn or CJ to avoid judgment based on my Indian name. Faith is to believe what you do not see. The reward of this faith is to see what you believe. I am an atheist, and that is what I believe my faith to be. Being atheist has had its ups and downs. One thing I love about it is that I eliminate the mindset of ethnocentrism. I don't believe any religion is better, mostly because I don't believe in religion. Not believing in a religion has benefited me in a few specific ways. One being freedom. Living my life without the need to defer to someone's interpretation of their God's rules. Second being responsibility. Living my life knowing that I am ultimately responsible for my own actions. And third being harmony. Living my life without cognitive dissonance. No need to believe in things that I believe are not there. But by being a part of a family that is religious tends to draw conflict. I am still forced to go to the Gurdwara to pray when I am in town visiting my mom, even though I don't believe in it. When I went to see her in December, she forced me to go before my flight so she would have peace of mind. Another benefit about being an atheist is I don't have to worry about marrying into my faith. I am able to fall in love with someone from any faith as long as I am not required to convert. A lot of families require their children to do that or arrange marriage. By eliminating this requirement, I am not being prejudiced towards other faiths. Since we are talking about love and marriage, this brings me to my next point, that I am heterosexual. I find that this is a beneficial part of my identity. I am able to go out in public and not worry about PDA. I won't be judged because I am deemed normal. I also don't have to face the complications of adopting a child or legal difficulties with marriage. And most importantly, I don't have to go through the challenges of telling my family. Being a part of a strongly traditional family, coming out and saying I am lesbian, would be an emotional roller coaster for everyone. Looking at my gender identity, I classify myself as female. Unfortunately, in the professional world, I would be making less money being in the same role as a man. I am also faced with gender roles. I am the one at home who has to clean, cook, and take care of guests while progressing through my career. These gender stereotypes form the basis of sexism, or the prejudiced beliefs that value one sex over another. Being a female, I am a target of sexism, and these gender roles society has created. I also am deemed for how I present myself to the public. If I want to show some skin, I'm considered a slut. If I cover too much, I am considered a prude. Essentially, there is no way to please society. I come from a middle-class family. My socioeconomic status allows me to go to post-secondary institution where I will have a good education to get a job, allowing me to inevitably be financially stable. I am able to do all this and go to school with my own personal cell phone and computer. I have access to a car which I can drive, and I am able to enjoy a night out. And finally, I have the ability to travel. I recently flew down to Phoenix for my brother's graduation, and I am blessed to say I was financially able to travel there. I am a 17-year-old. For me, I find myself at a great age. I am able to make mistakes and know that most of them aren't going to affect the rest of my life. I can eat just about anything without gaining weight since I am an active teen with a high metabolism. And finally, I am benefited with discounts such as an SBC card, which I can use in retail stores, cheaper transit, and student special meals at fast food restaurants. Thankfully, I am the youngest in the family. I have 3 older siblings, 2 brothers, and 1 sister. Since the age gap between my siblings and I is from 7 years to 13 years, I unfortunately didn't have a close and relatable relationship with them when I was younger. I wanted to play games and go to the park, or they wanted to work, make money, and go party with their friends. However, being the youngest has brought me countless advantages. My siblings have taught me things like doing my taxes, something they had to learn the hard way. I also am babied in the family. I am the spoiled one, and comparing my teenage life to my sister's, I am given so much more freedom than she was. She had to go through all the tough restrictions before I did. Since we were talking about my siblings, you already know I am a sister. I have one brother who is 31 and is my guardian. I live with him here in Mississauga. I also have a brother in Vancouver who is 29, and lastly, I have a sister who lives in London who is 25. Being a sister and one who has two big older brothers provide me a lot of protection. If there ever is a guy who is threatening me or who has hurt me emotionally, my brothers will be there to make sure I am okay. Also, being a sister is the best feeling in the world. I not only have one amazing sibling, but I have three, each of which I share a special relationship with. I am able to talk to them about school, career, friends, boys, money, just about anything. I learn so much from them, and the best part is they learn from me too. The only downside of being a sister in the family is I'm hit with the traditional, girls are not allowed to go out because it's dangerous theory. Being a girl in the household, I have an earlier curfew than my brothers did at my age, and my mom was super cautious where and when I go out. However, one thing she would never make me miss was my dance classes. I am a dancer, used to be competitive, but I'm at a point where it's strictly for passion. I have no negatives towards dance. This is the one aspect of my identity which makes me effortlessly happy. For one, dance keeps both the body and the brain active. Specifically, I use it as my break when doing homework. I'll spend anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour dancing, and it's the perfect getaway when studying. Taking dance out in my day helps to reduce stress levels. Another reason I love it is that since I've become so invested in it now, one of my goals is to open a studio around the age of 30. The best feeling is when your hobby turns into your motivation. And finally, participating in dance helped me increase my self-esteem and confidence through mastering my skills. Every time I hit a new move, I feel great about myself. Yes, dance is life, but I also love being an athlete. This year I played on 2 competitive sports teams at Stephen Lewis, our varsity girls volleyball team and badminton team. Being an athlete allowed me to meet some of the most amazing people. My best friends are people I played with, and I love the fact that we share similar interests. Being an athlete is also a way to release my anger. I remember I had a calculus test in which I didn't do so well. After school, I went to badminton practice and took all my anger out when hitting the birdie. It's the best feeling ever, taking the anger and releasing it out in a healthy way. The only problem with being an athlete I found is you have to be very committed and invested. I missed a lot of classes and had to catch up on a lot at home. Yes, time management becomes very tricky. However, I would never change being an athlete as part of my identity. As you can see, your identity shapes you. There are so many factors that add up to make you the person you are. It's nice to take the time and really realize what makes you, you. My name is Charnjit Gill, and these are my 10 identities.